Let's get into r/I'm the a-hole. We've got a lot of good stories, so let's get into it. Am I the a-hole for bringing an uninvited guest to a destination wedding? I, 26 female, was invited to a wedding within my state, but far enough that to attend I had to sleep over at a hotel at least for 2 nights. If I arrived the night before, as it was planned to be, and pretty much an all-day affair. I was very flattered to be invited, as I didn't think I was that close to the couple. It was a fairly small wedding, 60 guests including the bridal party. Obviously, as it was very small, and I was possibly a second round invitee, I didn't get a +1, fine with me. I ultimately decided to go. When I went to book the hotel room for my stay, I found they only had large rooms available, multiple beds or king beds, etc. as it is a popular wedding destination and it was a bit fancy. So I thought, why not invite my boyfriend, 26 male? That way we could trade off on the long drive there and back, and share a big room I would have to pay for anyways. The idea was that night we arrived, we could get dinner together, somewhere new, and have a nice breakfast before heading back home. While I was at the wedding event, he could just hang out in the hotel room or the pool or whatever. The wedding was great, but then after it wrapped up, the maid of honor, who I'm closer to than the bride, was chatting with me as I walked back to my room, and I knocked on the door instead of digging through my bag for the key card. When my boyfriend opened the door for me, the maid of honor just greeted him and walked off. I didn't think it was a big deal or anything. When I think about destination weddings, I'm thinking like the Caribbean or Hawaii or something like that. And at first I thought, yeah, maybe it could be a big deal, because in weddings everything has to be planned and prepped. You got the venues, the catering, how many plates has to be set, the type of food that may pertain to culture as well, food allergies, you know, wedding planner stuff. And this is also not the same thing as like wedding crashing. However, this dude hung out in the hotel, which means he didn't even go to the wedding. He's the boyfriend of the invited party, and them both sharing the driving. That was smart. I think there was a total bridezilla going on here. Am I the a-hole for laughing at the name my sister chose for her baby? For context, I, 28 female, attended a family dinner with my mom, dad, and sister, 26 female, yesterday. My sister's due to give birth soon, and decided this dinner would be the perfect time to announce the name she chose for her first child. My sister has always been obsessed with aesthetics. Her whole house is beige and rather depressing if I'm honest. The whole nursery she built for the baby is beige and gray and will not accept colorful gifts for the baby. I can tell her husband hates it, but he won't admit it. Now here's the issue. I'm very prone to laughing at inappropriate times. I am autistic and find it very hard to filter what I say and my emotions, which can lead to me reacting to things in a way that can offend people. I didn't think this would cause an issue until she revealed the name of her baby. So we're all done with our dinner. We are looking at my sister as she announces her baby will be named Brooklyn Willow Rose, insert surname, not including it for privacy. Spelled exactly like that. And then I burst out laughing and said, "You can't be serious. I am now banned from all family dinners. Is the name really that bad? Was it really a massive a-hole?" Update. After writing this post, I decided to call my sister and apologize, as when I wrote down what happened, I didn't realize what a D move that was. I said I was sorry for laughing and apologized for using my mental disability as an excuse, and offered to treat her to lunch as an apology. Understandably, she was reluctant to forgive me, but she did it, which I'm thankful for. She said she was hurt by my actions, which I understood but was willing to look past it. I totally get it. With someone with the same disability as myself, it's very hard to read social cues. In certain situations, when people are nervous or whatever, they laugh. I kept reading the baby's name as Broccoli, and I was thinking of way worse names. Imagine naming your baby Adolf.
What's your last name?
Adolf.
But I'm very happy this story wrapped up really nicely. This one had a happy ending at least. Am I the a-hole for refusing my girlfriend's request of being sitting down in our home? Recently, me, M24, and my F23 girlfriend moved into a new place together. Everything about living together and the living situation has been great, except when we got into an argument a few days ago about something which I find quite bizarre. She pulled me aside. I was getting ready for bed a few days ago and had a conversation with me, telling me that I need to stop peeing standing up. What? She told me it was gross and that she didn't want to be stepping all over my waist when she went to the bathroom. Keep in mind, we live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom studio apartment. Now, yes, I wholeheartedly sympathize with women who have to deal with a-hole men who act like slobs in the bathroom, and I would understand my girlfriend expect I did none of this. No urine got on the seat, floor, or anywhere near it. No smell remained in the bathroom, and I always left the lid down to flush anyways for hygiene. I told her this, but she has refused to listen out, and she told me multiple times that she doesn't want me peeing standing up and thinks it's gross. Bruh. Now really, this is my home too, and we are splitting the rent, and I think I have every right to piss standing up in my own home, and I think it's ridiculous. Yeah, it is a bit weird and unreasonable. Like him, I can sympathize, and he shouldn't make a mess. But whatever opinions I have on it, men do what they do. He's also living there and paying rent. Yeah, she's the a-hole in this story, I hate to say. Am I the a-hole for allowing my ex-wife into my home? Early yesterday evening, my ex-wife came to pick up our son from my home. At the time, my wife and I had a few visitors over for dinner. The visitors included her sister and her husband, but mostly friends. Usually, my ex phones our son when she's downstairs. We live in an apartment building, and he goes to meet her. Yesterday, she calls our son as usual, but asked him to ask me if she could come up because one of her younger kids needed to use the bathroom. I obviously said yes. She came up with her 3 younger kids. She didn't know we had company, so she apologized for interrupting before taking her kids to the bathroom. On her way, a couple of the guests stopped her for a quick chat. Friends I've had since she and I were married, but it was only for a few minutes. My son gave his little siblings some of the snacks that were out for our guests. After they left, my wife's sister was quick to call my ex rude for barging in. One of my friends replied to her saying something about small kids' bladders and nothing more was said about it. However, after everyone but my wife's sister had left, my wife and her sister started talking about it, and they both agreed it was rude and tacky. They couldn't believe she started talking to some of our friends. When I objected, they said it was wrong of me to have let her in without asking my wife first. I said that's ridiculous. Later, my wife and I discussed it again, and she said she found it embarrassing for me just to let her in like that. I asked why, but she said I wouldn't understand. Am I really the a-hole here? I was trying to do a normal nice thing, but now I feel bad about upsetting my wife. Dude, you're so not the a-hole here. What you did here is something normal. I think anyone would do the same thing, to be frank. We're talking about kids here, not even adults, that want to use the bathroom. You and your ex-wife may have had problems, but your current wife and her sister are throwing major red flags here. It reeks of insecurity. I love it when people give the answer, oh, you wouldn't understand. To me, that means she lost the argument. She had never had a reason in the first place. You're not an a-hole. I think the wife clearly is. Would I be the a-hole if I kicked my girlfriend's mother out of my house? I, male 27, and my girlfriend, female 24, live together. However, with that, her mother, F57, lives with us. Essentially, her mom was evicted from her apartment a few days after my girlfriend moved in with me. Since then, it's been utter hell. Essentially, the mom does a few chores but does not work, has not applied for a job or anything else, so essentially is a leech. And my girlfriend has been kind of the same. She has a few jobs but doesn't do any chores or anything really. I provide for everything and everyone, and pay all the bills and for dinner/outings, etc. I feel like I will be the a-hole here because she will be homeless and on the streets, and my girl is considering going with her if that happens. But I also have no qualms in ending the relationship if she did choose to move out also. Would I be the a-hole? I don't know. I think we all enjoy good, monster law stories once in a while. That's why, TLC has that widely famous, 90 Day Fiancé. Quite a few channels cover that. But I don't know. Sometimes I just get a feeling when I'm reading these stories, like the author themselves tries to paint themselves like a victim or something. I don't know. Would he be the a-hole? But until next time, like, comment, and subscribe, and stay